Alright, hello, hello! Welcome in, Stargazers. I hope you are all doing well today. Hello, hello. Maybe the chat's behaving a little bit better today? I don't know. How is everybody doing? Hello, hello. Hello, Johnny Virgil. Hello, Siam Zero. Hello, KLMX. Hello, Babylon. Hello, Starbaker. Hello, Arcanite. Hello, Trion. Hello, Burger. Hello, Newbie. Welcome in. Hello, hello, Wuston Fish. Ah! Hello, Silence. Hello, Vessa. Hello, Willow. Welcome in, welcome in. Would you look at that? Power went back. Thank you, Star. What? Feels like it's been both yesterday and tomorrow. I don't know how to... Yes? Like, strangely, I agree with you. I feel like that is very accurate to how today feels. But I don't know how to articulate why that makes sense. But it does, you're right. Yeah, I would agree with that. Hello, Trion! You had a great weekend. Got to see Mortal Kombat 2. Got to start playing Tomodachi Life. Oh, nice. I hope it's fun. Join the ocean and we shall behave. No, thank you, but hello, Aqua. No. Become his fish. No. Oh, gosh. No. No fish. No fish. Okay, you know what's weird? Okay, you know how like, social media listens to you, right? Like, social media definitely listens to you. I saw an Instagram reel yesterday, and it was just this woman on a beach, and she was just talking about how she belongs in the ocean, and she needs to be in the ocean, and she desires the ocean, and then it ends with her, like, doing, like, a trout flop into the sea. I was going to put it in the Discord. It's like, there's no way. It was a little too uncanny time-wise. Goodness. But I'm glad everyone is doing well for the most part. Despite, you know, a little bit of insanity. But hey, that's okay. Oh my gosh. I've been, like, I'm in, like, a weird place right now on the content side, because I had some weird revelations. You guys were hearing me do, like, some gen chat talk about that. It's really weird. Can you hear the voices too, Star? No! No! Jeez! Siam Zero! No! That's not a good thing. Don't look up sheep's head fish. I wasn't gonna. I don't have the desire to look up many species. Hello, Stuckler. Welcome in, welcome in. Look, we got goldfish, koi, leafy sea dragon, seahorse, clownfish, angelfish. We don't need others. We don't need any others. I like fishy? You can like fishy. Liking fishy is... Well, it depends on the fishy. Like I said, goldfish, good. Koi, good. Leafy sea dragon, good. Seahorse, good. Angelfish, clownfish. Those are all good. Flowers, probably not. What voices? I only hear singing. Is it pretty at least? Anyway. So, yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, weird content stuff, though. Weird content stuff. I feel like I have been... Of the rainbow trout. Oh my gosh. You know, the baby squirrel that got trapped in a well pit? Oh my gosh! I hope they're okay now. Oh my my god. I don't know what I'm losing my train of thought again. Yeah, content stuff. I was trying to record another Colosso thing, because I was trying to do, like, really well with the Colosso stuff, right? I want to do, well with it. But I was trying to go above and beyond, where I guess I don't need to. Trying to overdo it, I guess. And I was trying to do, like, a third piece of content for the week, just to, like, you know, get the numbers up or something. And, I think I said yesterday that I tried recording the whole thing and I was muted and not realizing that I'm, like, going through the entire thing with no audio. And then, I was, trying to... And then I was like, okay, then I'll just, how did this go? Then I was like, okay, then I'll just try to make it a, like, regular video. And then that didn't work. And then I was like, okay, I'll just make it a still image. And then Instagram hated the size format. And I was like, I started titling the images, like, version 4 at that point. And I was just attempting to try to make something that worked. And then I just got so tired and irritated. And we have to do submissions, like, at 9 o'clock at night every day. And it was getting to be, like, 8:30. And I'm like, this is stupid. I'm not gonna do this. I already hit my goals. So then I was thinking about it. And, I was like, it's just so hard to keep up with all this. And then I was looking at what other people have done for this program. And I noticed that, like... What? Wait, what? I'm very confused. What? Hello? I don't know if you're under a username alias, so I'm not gonna, like, ask or call out anyone, but... but I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for subscribing. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you. Alright then. Aritain, hello, welcome in, welcome in. Alright. What the heck? Was Tom the cat Hank's Cruz? Oh my gosh. What is so confusing? It tells you on screen what happened. Oh. Oh my, you know, hey, ugh. Alright, well, if you're in the chat, I appreciate you greatly. Thank you. Goodness. What was I saying? Oh, lovely. What was I even saying? I'm all twisty-tailed now. What was I? I was talking about the muted stuff, and then I was talking about trying to make too much content. Where was I going with this? You were talking about your favorite fish? No, I know I wasn't. And the answer is koi anyway. Oh my gosh, what am I trying to think of? I completely lost my train of thought here. But TLDR, I realized that not everything needs to be a super clean edited video, and it actually might be, like, not something that social media likes. And I think that maybe if I'm doing, like, streams, I can talk, and if I'm doing YouTube videos, I can talk. But not every single piece of content needs a separate script and audio recording. And I feel like that is something I'm now learning when I look at what other people are doing, and I notice that 99% of them do not have audio. They usually just have music and text going. And I'm thinking to myself, that's probably a much faster way to, like, stay consistent, is not having to record separate things all the time. And I was thinking about this because a really, really big trend right now, I probably don't have time to start doing this, but at some point I would like to. Really big trend right now is for artists to do, like, an art piece a day. Not like Helen Zhao, but, like, a sketch or a colored sketch, you know, something simple, like for intermediate and beginner artists. And it's just the consistency of doing it every single day. And it's usually a fan art piece. And it'll just be like, you know, day 11 out of 30, drawing every day until I get better or whatever. And it's very simple, but it's usually just a little bit of background music and then text about what the thoughts were. And I'm like, that's probably a much easier way of going about things than what I've been doing. Trying to make, like, the clean, polished, edited video every time I'm trying to talk about a concept. And then I was thinking about it, in terms of what I've already done, and I was thinking, like, this doesn't feel right. Like, I think I'm being a little too enthusiastic instead of just being an artist showing off the progress. So I learned a lot. I learned a lot in the last 24 hours, I guess. I feel like that's kind of the main point that I'm trying to get across is, like, you don't need to always give it 110 when you only need to give it, like, 70. And I just feel like that's a lesson that I'm constantly learning, still learning, always trying to learn, but still important. And it would be a good thing, because then it means that I'm making more stuff for you guys to enjoy, instead of trying to make a polished thing when it doesn't have to be polished. So I'm hoping that this is a good revelation that is, inevitably helpful. But yeah. Doesn't that just go for life? Probably, yeah. 70 is still above the speed limit in many places. Why limit to 100%? We're no machine with built-in limits, we can give 110. Because I've been giving it 110, and I burn out, and things sound fake, and the amount of editing that I'm doing is not conducive to actually the thing that I'm trying to learn, or teach, or share. So, in trying to make, like, a really clean, slick video, I'm not actually, like, doing enough of the actual content. In terms of Closo stuff, right? I need to, like, get through doing study stuff, and I'm spending so much time making clean edited videos. And I don't really think that that's, like... I don't think that that's necessarily, like, a good, conducive use of time, I suppose, is the best way to say it. So I'm learning a lot here. Like, an example, I was making, like, Instagram carousel reels, Instagram carousel, and I put in, like, 2 or 3 hours in making, like, this really clean, polished Instagram carousel. 5 people saw it. So, it's a matter of, like, learning that you don't have to turn everything into a masterpiece. Especially if it's preventing you from doing other things. Applying the 80-20 rule to more than just art. Yeah. You study? What do you do? I study art. I'm working on improving my art. So I'm currently taking a class that is helping me with art tutorial stuff. But I'm also trying to advertise the class at the same time. It's a little confusing. It's a little confusing. But yeah, that's essentially it. So, yeah. TLDR, big revelation today. / yesterday. And I'm hoping that this will be something I can sort of stick to reminding myself about. I know I'm gonna forget. I know I'm not gonna always remember this type of stuff, but I feel like it... I might need Vesa to, like, smack me upside the head a little bit if I go too far in doing extra work that doesn't need to be. Even our roommate? He has a pigeon? A pigeon by Monday? What? What do you mean a pigeon? Gladly. Vesa do the thing? Wait a minute. Wait a minute here. Never seen many bites. He's doing 3D... Oh, 3D modeling of a pigeon. Okay, that's cool. But yeah, I'm trying to learn to be the most, I'm trying to learn to be more efficient with what I'm doing. And I am a burned-in perfectionist, so it's not easy for me. I always get a jump scare when people say a word with T and a bunch of letters like TLDR. What? Why? What? THLPH? Oh! Oh, because you- oh, I see. Fair enough, fair enough. Alright. You'll give us a Warhammer? That doesn't sound great. I'm not sure that that's, I don't know about that one. Alright. Anyway. Let's move in here. Let's move in here. So, I think it's a fantastic idea. Of course you would say so. I finished watching a bunch of videos on head construction, and I feel like that is something that can really, really, really help us, especially in doing, various pieces of fan art. So what I'm thinking is, today we can, like, really try to understand head construction better, and then, Thursday we can try applying that to actual operators. Like the little rainbow thing you have? Rainbow ear, necklace? Wonder how much caffeine the artist drinks to complete this. I actually don't drink any caffeine. I am a self-incarnated VTuber, so this is all me. Vessel will send you fish. A squeaky hammer would be funnier. Well, it does sound a lot less painful, that is for sure. Warhammer's small but hurt very much. The way he consumes media, we should call him TLDR instead. How are you alive? No caffeine, you liar. No, I don't drink caffeine. I'm very serious about that. I do not drink any caffeine whatsoever. Alright. Catch wins comment of the week with that one? I know, right? I feel like Catch wins comment of the week more often than not, to be fair. Alright. You wanna know why I don't drink caffeine? I know that, for some people, it makes their hands, like, very shaky. And, I do a lot of, well, I haven't in a while, but I have done a lot of, very, very delicate 3D work. And I always had this fear that if you're, like, too shaky to work, it would not be good. And I had this, this electronics teacher who was, you know, constantly consuming caffeine. And it's to the point now where she can't really work the circuit boards very well, and it sort of freaked me out. And I'm not saying that to scare anyone, and I'm not saying that to, like, change anyone's mind. That is just my personal life. That is just my personal decision. If you want to have caffeine, you know, have at it. We have a cafe. We can serve it. There's no issue with that. That is just me personally. I do things with tiny, tiny, tiny micro precision, and I just, don't want to have to worry about that. Plus, you know, for me, it's like, you know, well, you guys know, I don't have the most refined palate in the world, and it's just very bitter to me, so I don't really have any desire, but if you like it, more power to you. Too much blood in my coffee veins. Alright. So let's jump into our art section here. See how this will go. I actually probably should have... Oh, you know what I should do? I should have the canvas up as well. Because otherwise, I will probably end up making the heads too tall like I normally do because of angles. Alright, we're gonna go to new window. There we go, that's good. Bring that up here. Ah! That's not what I wanted. That is our thumbnail. I don't want the thumbnail, I want the art here. Okay, there we go. Alright, zoom out there. Perfect. Okay. We're all set here. Cafe without, cafe and without cafe is just an inn. We should have one of those too. What do you mean we should just have an inn? Isn't the atelier basically your inn? Alright, let's see. First thing I want to do here is I want to add some guidelines. So, guidelines from, like, the center of the face. Where else? Bottom of the chin. Ah! I thought there was a way to, like, snap this easier, no? Oh, alright. That's fine. And then side where the ear is. And the top of the eyes. That should be good. And then taking note that this is basically being built on a circle. And I'm intentionally not drawing this circle very perfect because it's not going to be a perfect circle, it's just sort of a base of a circle. And then just sort of repeating that. Here. And I'll reduce the opacity a little. But just sort of trying to get a little bit of a visual ground here. We'll start off by doing one that's just at the side angle, just so we have a little bit of a better sense of what we're doing, and then we'll sort of try turning the face a little bit in all different angles. She doesn't even give us bed, she makes us sleep underground? That is not true at all? That is not true at all! I have an entire room of beds, and you guys have decided you didn't like that! You said that that wasn't good enough for you, and then you guys went underground. That was not me. That was you. You made that decision. I want my own room. You can't have your own room! They're gone. Newbie ate them. That's why I have to buy them in bulk. You can't have your own room, you're sharing it with like 20 other stargazers at least. At least. Oh my gosh, okay. So we're gonna start with a circle here. And again, don't have to make it very complex, I'm just trying to make sure that I understand. And one thing I'm also trying to note is that with an anime style, the eyes are lower on the face than on a typical construction of a head. Actually, let me make one more line here. Because on a normal head, the eyes are about halfway, like the top of the eye would be here. Oh, wait, I just realized something. We're forgetting the... You guys can't see what I'm doing. That doesn't help. Alright. Is that easier? Actually see what I'm doing here. On a normal head, right, it's usually halfway, so the eye would be here, but on anime, it's a lot lower. All right, so we have that established. So let's try. We're gonna break this. Let me think. It's gonna be a little lower. So we'll make this kind of pinched shape. Or I guess we can start just doing it straight ahead. That would probably be easier. We're basically taking a circle and pinching it. I'm explaining what I'm doing, but I'm also doing this for my own sake. You know? There's also part of me just trying to learn and get better here, too. It's gonna be about halfway with the top of the head. A little bit lower here. There's gonna be more of a curvature here. Because this is more of a female design, we kind of want it to be a little bit of a pointed chin and more of a rounded face structure. I was always drawing the eyes on top. With anime, especially, the eyes are lower. Another thing that a lot of people mistake is that they don't account for the hairline. So a lot of times with intermediate artists or beginner artists, you'll see them do this, and then they'll have the eyes like here, and then they'll put the hair like here, right? So when you do that, what you end up with is eyes that are like way, way, way too high. Or like a really, you know, like a really, really large chin or something. So you have to keep in mind that the hairline is going to include hair above. And that alone is going to change the proportion as well. But because it's anime eyes, they're actually lower too. So it would be closer to this. I'm doing this really roughly, of course. This is not the right proportion, but you'd have something closer to this. So always keep in mind where the hairline is too, because your hair is not going to be flat against your skull. It's going to be a little bit raised. It's going to add a little bit of, depth here. If you like seeing you learn, please proceed. I want all stargazers to be forced into the same room. Well, they were at one point. Like, I specifically, like, got beds for everybody. I made a nice little, like, nook area for everyone, and you guys didn't like that, and then you made the burrows. I don't know why you didn't like that. I thought it was perfectly fine. But it wasn't good enough for you, apparently. I don't know why. Hairline just makes it more 3D looking. Yeah. Alright, and again, we have to pay attention to where the eyes are here. They're still gonna be, like, about an eye apart, more or less. I feel like I might have made this head a little too wide. Possibly a little too wide. Nose is gonna be a little further down, about here. Mouth is gonna be about here. Chin is probably too large, which means that... What's off here? Nose can be... The nose and the mouth should be a little smaller, I think. And then the chin might be a little too far. And this is why we do the practices. Put us all in the same gacha machine and sell us as merch. The strongest shall come out on top. It won't be me, but it'll be funny to watch. The burrows are a pristine bunny engineering marvel. I've never seen the burrows. I've heard about the burrows, but I've not seen the burrows. I have an aquarium and Dune books. You drew me with them. I can't share a room with crazy bunnies that might break the glass or eat the books. I deserve my own room. Oh my gosh, Vesta. Well, okay, in the burrows, did you make your own room? I feel like the burrows are endless. Didn't you make your own room there? Why didn't I hear about this in the onboarding? I ended up building my own house. The heck? Alright, I'm just gonna try to make this more even. Obviously, I don't have this down pat because I haven't practiced in a while, and that's on me. That's not... There's another one of those instances where it's, like, much easier to see when the instructor does it, and then you try to do it, and you're like, oh, I forgot everything. So, I also know that there's gonna be a little bit of a brow line here as well. Because the face is still three-dimensional, right? We're gonna have a little bit of a highlight on the nose. And then the mouth is not gonna be as large as a normal, as a regular, realistic mouth. Because that kind of gets rid of the more cute factor of an anime style, so you want to make the mouth much smaller than you normally would. Unless the character is a guy, then you can make it more realistic. So then we have the brow, the nose, the bridge of the nose here. And then the eyes are, like, the ears, I mean. The ears should be about right where the bottom of the nose and top of the eyes. More or less. Something like that. For the highlight, I can make it a little larger, just so we can kind of see what we're doing. And then this is about where the eyebrows would be. So that's still pretty accurate, I would say. Of course, you can stylize the lashes on the eyes a little bit. But I'm just sort of trying to make sure that I kind of understand, like, where everything is supposed to go, more or less. And then you can add, irises here. It's probably still slightly too... Yeah, there we go. If you're doing a female character, you don't want them to be very boxy. It's not as conventionally attractive. You want it to be more of a triangular shape, very, very thin and very petite. So that makes a huge difference right there, from this shape to this shape. It's gonna give a much more feminine appearance. It's already not looking too bad, honestly. And then, of course, you have your hairline about here. And then this is where you would, like, start, maybe a little higher. Is where you would just start adding extra stuff, right? But I'm not gonna do that right now, because I've not gotten to that part, and I don't actually really have a good sense of constructing hair yet. My hair construction's pretty flat. So we got this piece. The character staring into my soul. It is a front view, so there you go. Stare's too big for the burrows? Indeed. I have illusion magic for many things. A fellow stargazer is not one of them. Why is the nose just a dot? Because that's typical of an anime style. When you're looking at the front view anyway. And then the side view is gonna be, will show more of the proportions, so I'll get to that in just a sec. I suddenly have an urge to eat Vessa's books. No! You guys should not, like, imitate Newbie. I don't think that's the right path. The shape of the head without all the dressings is always so off-putting to me. No shade to bald people. No, I understand what you mean. I understand. Because, like, you know that it's incomplete from what you're used to seeing. Because it's also staring straight at you in a very, like, technical level. Whereas if I was to draw, like, let's say, Saitama, it probably wouldn't feel as weird. We just have to befriend the Eldritch Horror that comes from the sink sometimes, and then the burrows can grow. What the heck? Alright. We're gonna... Let me see. How do I want to do this? I'm gonna move this over a little bit. Oh shoot, did I do this on the same level? I sure did. Alright. You know what? For someone who's really out of practice, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out, so the video is definitely working in terms of sort of following along and knowing how to break things down. We're gonna try doing a side profile now. Yeah, do we want to do... Yeah, side profile's good. What I'm gonna do for this, just to keep things consistent, is I'm actually gonna duplicate it so that we get the same height and we don't have to keep redrawing those grid lines. And I'll sort of erase everything here. How do I want to do this? Yeah, we'll erase everything here. I just really need the top and bottom grid line. And then we'll sort of go back from the circle idea. And we need to figure out where the ear is. The ear should be about halfway. It's not usually 100% halfway. This is always what trips me up a little. It's like, it's not complete. It's like a little further over. But a lot of people just simplify it as halfway. It's not entirely, though. I guess with anime, it's a little bit closer. So, for all intents and purposes, we'll just do halfway in a little bit. And then, again, because of this grid line here, the ear's gonna start here. And it's gonna go to where the bottom of the nose is gonna be, which is probably gonna be about here. It's gonna be a little further outward. Bottom of the nose is here, okay. And then the ear, the top, the back of the chin, how do I explain this? The chin going upward meets at the ear. You can erase this area here. And then we can sort of add where the neck would be, which I didn't do on the other one, but that's okay. Sort of looking at where the ear is here. And where the eye is going to be about here. This might be a little bit off, so we can always adjust it as we need to. So one thing that I remember from the course is that the shape that we want for the face is going to be sort of this outward, inward, outward, and there's going to be like sort of the nose area. Long piece here for the both sides of the mouth, and then inward again for the chin, right? So if we copy this over and sort of stretch it here, kind of fits. We just need to adjust it a little bit. So, mid area for the eye. Nose bridge is gonna be a little sharper. And then, of course, you're gonna smooth this out. And then this angle should be pretty extreme. If you make the angle too flat, so that you end up having, like, you know, let's say you have the nose here and the lips like this, it ends up not being very attractive if you do something like this. But if you tilt it, so you'd have the nose here and the lips a little bit lower, it ends up feeling a little bit more natural. You want the upper lip to be further than the lower lip. You don't want everything to be sort of like in this line. You kind of want a little bit of this overlap, if that makes sense. Because if you make them even, then it'll look like the character has like a forward protruding jaw. So you want it to be a little further back. Noted, give characters overbite. No, what you want to avoid is giving them an underbite. It can be more subtle than this too. I'm not super great at it yet, but you're actually trying to avoid making it look like they have an underbite if it's too even. You need a little bit of that angle. Put this over here. Just sort of making adjustments with what looks right. Neck might not be... The neck needs to move over a tiny bit. Female characters are also going to generally have thinner necks. Because they're less, muscular and defined, you know? Males are gonna have very wide necks, females are gonna have much shorter necks. Anime, much more so. Alright, and then, let's see here. This might still be a little too heavy. Probably need to adjust that a little more. Wait, where's the... No, we need to make sure that this is still lining up, right? What did I do here? Something is off. What did I make that was off? Oh, the nose got way too high. Oh, okay, jeez. The nose got way too high. Alright. It's still a little tricky for me to do. Probably a little bit better. Yeah, nose should be lower, right? Much lower. Much, much lower. Alright, that's better. Move this all downward a little. Move this a little upward. I mean, there's also various stylization preference too. Probably needs to be outward. I also need to remember that there's also a reference I can use too. Side profile chin area has always been my weakness. This is very helpful. It's really hard. I don't blame you at all. Like, I'm teaching while trying to understand what I'm learning. I'm doing the thing where an intermediate teacher tries to tell someone else what they learned to try to see if it sticks in your head better. That's essentially the technique I'm attempting here. To mixed results, but it's definitely a lot further than I would have thought. It feels like trying to learn from an intern. Yeah, there you go. Like, I'm not a professional. This is more like, hey, this is what I'm learning from this class, and if you're interested in this class too, I recommend it. Here's what I'm attempting to show that I learned from the class, but I really recommend the class instead of learning from me. I'm gonna have to rewatch it a few times, I'm sure. Because a lot of it is also very stylization based, I think. I'm trying to see, like, how far off are we here? Okay, we're a lot less far off than I actually would have assumed. I'm kind of shocked. I'm honestly really surprised. I thought I was, like, way further off. But no, that's really dang close. The heck? Alright. I was not expecting that. I thought we would have to make a lot more adjustments. So it's more just like, just make it a little pointier and, I guess, push the bridge a little further. Huh. Okay then. Alright, let's try that again. Were we really that close? It did not feel that close. And make the chin... Okay, maybe made it a little too pushed here on this styling. Ah! Okay, try and do it, like, here? Still has enough of an angle. Yeah. It feels off, but I don't quite know why yet. This might need to be a little higher. Like, it feels like it's too far out. I'm gonna push it in just a little bit more. Is this still lining up? Kind of. Why are our lines not lining up anymore? What did I do to this? Alright, that's okay. We're learning from this, right? We're just learning from this. The ear might need to go a little further back. Maybe just a tiny bit. Because the side of your head is wider than the front. That? Lilith? Wait, our Lilith? A different Lilith? Hello? What? Hello? Goodness. What is going on today with the Ko-fi subscription? I don't know if that's our Lilith. Is that our Lilith? What the heck? What the heck? Hello, hi, are you watching the stream? I don't know if you are. Okay, I've gotten Ko-fi sales during stream, but subscriptions? Hi, what is happening? I don't even have the mail club started yet. I don't have the mail club started. Wait, I'm so confused. I mean, thank you, I really appreciate the support, but like, I feel like I should start the mail club first. I really, really need to do that. Right? Thank you, whoever you are. If you're our Lilith or not, I'm not sure, but I appreciate you. I don't know. Lilith Lunary. I'm so confused. It's not a... These aren't sales. They say subscription. What? I mean, I really appreciate it, but that's really unusual. The heck is happening? They are now our Lilith other one. I'm confused, but I'm very grateful. Definitely confused, though. I appreciate it greatly. All right, let me try to focus on the eyes here. If you're in stream, feel free to say hi. You don't have to if that makes you uncomfortable, but like, I appreciate you. And if you want to say hi, you're more than welcome to. Alright. Side view is so difficult. Why is side view so much harder than front view? Probably because it's like, not something you can just repeat evenly. Side view is definitely harder. Am I losing my brain? I think this makes sense. I guess I'm gonna have to check that later. I'm not used to people subscribing on Ko-fi out of nowhere. I'm thinking, like, these would be sales, like, shop stuff, right? Normally? Alright. And then the top here. Top brow. And because everything is sort of, like, on a 3D plane, the brow is gonna go a little bit further than the eye. I do know that, at least, too. Let's see, as well, we're gonna have a little bit of a breakdown here. I'm gonna see if I can try to understand the breakdown of the face, the different planes of the face. Might need to be making this a little higher, too. People found / saw your Star Wars Day asset and decided to support you where they came from, maybe? It's possible, but I've sold a lot of VTuber assets, and I've never been able to, like, get someone in the community or be a regular supporter through my assets. So that's why I'm kind of, like, a little bit confused. Like again, grateful, but just kind of confused. Alright, I'm trying to understand the side view planes here. I feel like breaking down planes of a face is, like, one of the easiest, not easiest, but, like, one of the most calculated ways to learn. So I'm seeing if there's a good way to do that. I feel like this eye is, like, a little too low compared to the previous version of it. I feel like it was a little bit higher. It was higher. What happened to these lines? Is it because I didn't, like, you know what I'm thinking? Okay, that we at least know! Arcanite. What the heck? Arcanite, thank you. OMG, hi, Arcanite. Never seen this man in my life. Arcanite, thank you so much for the support. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Our Arcanite, yes. Yes, I'm pretty sure there's no other Arcanite. The last two were you as well? Wait, what? Wait, you're saying that as a joke, right? Sorry for the confusion, broke your train of thought. Wait, like, actually though? Wait, huh? Wait, I'm so confused now. Also, Vesta, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for resubscribing on Twitch, I appreciate it. Oh my god, wait, do I not even have the- I don't even have Twitch alerts on the side channel. Oh my gosh, wait. I don't even have a- oh my gosh. Alright. Thank you, Vessa. Thank you for resubscribing, Vessa. That's actually something I've been wondering about is, what was I saying? That's something I've been wondering about, like, should we just... Yeah, I know I'm not streaming on Twitch. I was thinking about it, though. I was thinking, like, should I just stream on Twitch on Mondays? Cause, like, Twitch doesn't care what I'm doing, right? Like, Twitch is kind of a throwaway thing, and maybe it'll bring in people who also like art and not just Arknights. Because Twitch doesn't really grow that much. I'm kind of wondering, like, should I just, like, have it open in, like, the art category in case anyone wants to stop by? I don't know. It doesn't hurt to try. I was thinking about that. I'm like, why am I not? Like, why have I not? When did I decide to make this, like, YouTube only? Why did I decide that? I genuinely don't know where any of these thoughts came from. Or these decisions came from. Why is the chin not lining up? You know what? I'm gonna be really... No, I can't. I'm gonna... Alright, we're just gonna push it a little bit more. Oh, yeah, because, you know, that... The length of the chin basically determines how old the character looks. And we had a character that looked too young based on that chin length. So... Alright. Everything's kind of lining up now? Yay! Everything's kind of lining up now. Awesome! Okay. Probably move the ear a little bit higher. Good. Okay, I think we're getting somewhere. I know this seems slow going compared to, like, how I normally sketch, but we're really trying to figure out, like, the construction of it, because as you keep doing construction stuff like that, it'll get faster and faster, and eventually you'll just be able to do it in your head. I can't do it in my head yet, obviously, but we are getting there. I wanted to tip, but the website couldn't send me the OTP, so screw it, 3 subs you'll get. My gosh, Arcanite. Well, I really appreciate it. Thank you for going through Ko-fi, too. That really means a lot, because, yeah, they take, like, less fees than anyone, so I appreciate that a lot. Arcanite, Lucinari's strongest stargazer. The ADHD urge to draw horns or antlers on the head you just drew. We're just doing practice here. Why do- oh, I think the back of the head is still supposed to be a little bit larger. I think that'll help. Yeah, that makes it feel a little bit more natural, I think. About there. The neck is... actually still too thick for an anime style. We can make that thinner. As weird as that seems. It actually probably lines up here. Oh, and then of course, you know, it's not just directly into the neck like a doll. You still have like a skin connection here. Because otherwise, it's just a ball-jointed doll, right? Is the ear too far back, or no? I think it's okay. I think the eye is not correct. I think the eye is actually supposed to be a little bit more, showing a little bit more of the side angle. There we go, that's better. Do it like this. I think this all makes sense. Still trying to, like, grasp exactly what it's supposed to be doing, but I think this should be a little bit more curved upward. And I might have tilted this a little too far. It feels like I'm drawing an android right now. If I'm trying to think about, like, planes of the face again, right? Something like that, I think. This is gonna be going a little higher. And then there's more of a side view, so. Like this? Trying to I'm trying to see it in 3D in my head, but it's hard because I would normally just grab a piece of clay if I had to. But breaking it down like this, I think could make sense. And then, let's see here. It's gonna be catching less of the light. It's gonna be catching more of the light. It's gonna be in shadow. I guess this is gonna be okay. Be catching the most light. This is gonna be in like a neutral. This is gonna be in the deepest shadow area. It's gonna be like an in-between. And this is gonna be pretty much catching the light directly. Something like this. Hello, Sierra. Welcome in, welcome in. Hang on a sec. Should listen to you and read it the art with properly drawn eyes. The other angle is, let's just say you'll have some good laughs at least. No, it's all good. And look, we're clearly all practicing here, right? Tom was my first online name. I like Lilith ever since I read about her in the books. And lunary means moon. Ah, okay. All good, all good. Oh god. You know what, Arcanite? I mean, too late now. You could have had, like, the perfect setup for like, I don't know, some sort of, April Fool's thing. Like in an MG and Zangetsu type of way, right? Just switching things off. I don't know how that would even look. I'm just like, oh, you have all of these different names, then. It would have been funny. Alright. I think this is probably good. Now we're gonna do the really hard one. Which is trying to draw this same thing, but at an angle. So, how do I want to do this? Let's do a... We'll try top down, because I think that that's the example the instructor gave, and then if we can, we'll attempt to do the other direction, but... Yeah, we're getting, like... The other direction would be free run angle, so... Let's try doing it this way. We'll start with a circle. And we'll try to find, like, a different angle for it. Not the 3/4 angle. 3/4 angle and, like, turned downward, too. Unless we just want to try to do the basic 3/4 angle first, which we can do that. I just felt it might be too similar to this, but... We'll see. Alright, let's try to figure out, like, what the top of the head would be. If we're imagining it, like, as a beach ball, right? Then we would have the front here. Be like the... trying to think. If you have a beach ball, right? You're trying to draw through it. You have the top area. And then the bottom area, I think is just gonna... I'm trying to see it in 3D. It's not working. I'm gonna torture myself doing this, aren't I? It makes so much sense when you see the instructor doing it, and then when you try to do it, it's just like, what is happening? Alright. Probably have like an oval shape. Might need to do this step by step later. This might be too much. I wanted to see if it was possible. It's so humbling. You think that you're like past the basics, and then you realize you're really not. Alright, I think it would go underneath, right? Okay. This clearly needs to be a little shorter. Nope. Okay. Trying to do it from here. And this is halfway. And it's gonna be like this. Oh my god, this is hard. I'm confusing myself now. Alright. Let's try to break it down with a box around it, maybe? Not even at the same angle. What am I doing? I had a box around it. Does that help? See, it's like I could try just doing it freehand, but without the construction, it's not going to be as strong of a drawing, you know? It's not going to actually make sense. Everything evolves into box. Everything is always boxes, yes, indeed. Alright, so this is our halfway point, right? Or wait, no, I do know a way to do with the halfway point at least. Okay, let me erase this. If you do an X here, then that's your halfway area. So we can try this look again, right? With this part of the forehead. This line. This area of the nose. And I think there was something about how if it's tilted, it's not going to be at the same... Everything's going to be a little bit, like, shorter. Because of this being, like, a 3D space. So if you're tilting it, it's going to be a little bit, like, more closed looking. I don't know if we're going to be able to capture that, frankly. Because this is already really difficult. Do something like that. Nose is closer to the chin. Yeah, nose would be closer to the chin. Which actually probably means that everything needs to be a little lower, doesn't it? Alright, this is our halfway point, then. Maybe like this? And then it's gonna connect from the other side of the ball. So far, this is almost like a technical drawing of a Rubik's Cube. I'm dying. Alright, this is gonna be the side of the head. So it's gonna be like this. I feel like I'm not gonna be able to capture the fact that it's turned. I think it's just gonna end up looking like a, the 3/4. Alright, this is the center again. So the ear needs to be a little further over. And the ear actually looks higher when a head is tilted. Because if you look at, like, a head from a top-down view, sorry, not top-down. How do I explain it? Yeah, if you have a top-down head, right? And the eyes are here, then the ears are going to be here, so that's going to appear higher. And then if you have the opposite, right? If you have like the mouth here and the nose here, then the ears are going to appear lower in relation. So the ears appear higher when the head is tilted downward. Alright. At least know where the eye needs to go here. And probably start erasing so I can actually see what I'm doing, right? I think that would help. I think everything's just a little too... Or you know what? Here, I'll just do this. Give it a little bit of a shape here. Trying to just figure out where the mouth is. Make the lip a little lower. And then... I think the ear is too far back. Although I don't know why it's too far back. Why is the ear too far back? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's fine. We'll have this kind of angle. Soften it a little bit to make it more feminine. And I'm still trying to pay attention to, like, those planes we were talking about. It's not entirely accurate, but it's better than I thought I would be doing. It's probably not going to show this side of the face. I'm also not really, like, as I'm doing this, I haven't really calculated how far each thing needs to be. So that's a little bit of a problem, too. Like, things are gonna look off, because I'm not being as structurally sound with it. Things are gonna look more off than they did in the previous, examples. Because I'm not using as many construction lines that are, like, correct. So that's gonna throw me. And I'm not getting the angle. I can tell I'm not getting the angle. And try pushing it a little bit and, sort of faking it. How would I calculate, like, where this is? Like, where this eye is? Yeah, this is where perspective comes in handy and where I don't have it. But it's still a good practice, I think. Maybe I could try this, and then we can try doing, like, the regular 3/4, and then see if we can, like, match it up, maybe? It's not looking pretty. And I'm trying to figure out, what needs to change to make it look better. This probably needs to be further apart. And then the question is, like, but why? The way I'm doing is by adding the stuff I know should be right first, like trying to eyeball the neck, then the chin, etc. Yeah, trying to do, like, the guidelines is another way to do it, too, right? Like, just trying to sort of figure out where everything should line up. That's definitely a way of doing it. The neck is too narrow? I don't know. It's kind of in line with these, aren't they? Make it a little bit, but yeah, anime style neck is pretty narrow. I feel like the ear is not correct. The ear feels too far. But I'm also tilting it, so I don't know. I might move it over. Just a smidge, maybe it'll look better. See, the thing is, when I say maybe it'll look better, I don't like it because it means that I'm not, it means that I don't have any, like, concrete way of determining what is correct or not, and that's what bothers me. I want to have a more concrete way of, like, solidifying what is the better answer for this. I don't think this is really a downward angle at all, frankly. I don't think I was able to do this. This is more of a 3/4, like, just playing 3/4. It's a great looking inflatable beach ball. Thank you. I think this is a basic 3. I think it's kind of like the tippy piece. Remember how we were trying to do the angle for the tippy piece and it just didn't have that upward angle that we needed? I think the angle ends up getting destroyed. Maybe Clip Studio has a 3D head asset? This is the Clip Studio 3D head asset. I can just look at this and I can say, look, you didn't do this right. All you did was, like, tilt the, drawing itself. All you did was, like, rotate it. It's not... You didn't change the angle. All you did was rotate the dang thing. See, I was gonna try relying on this, and then I was trying to rotate the angle, but clearly that didn't work. But alright, should we just, like, go back to it being a regular 3/4? Because, like, we could. In that case, I just have to, like, move everything. Just... turn it, like, here. Make sure it all matches up better. Do that if we wanted to. Still lines up pretty accurately, aside from me trying to make everything more narrow. We can get rid of the box, maybe? Oh, it's not that the neck is too narrow, it's that the neck is in the wrong place in comparison to the chin. Because the chin's too far. See, I did it! This is the problem, I did the wrong thing. I made the... By messing up the angle like that, I ended up making the mouth have that overbite effect that we didn't want. So now I have to fix that. Because that also changed the chin. And made the character look less pretty. And then the chin here is really off. This needs to be like... I don't know how the construction would be. Lower, I guess? And then like this? I guess like this, right? And then less tilted in one direction. Because of changing... that. We're just going for a 3/4 now, because I'm clearly not ready. We're just going for a basic 3/4. This is so humbling. The other exercise was really humbling as well. These are all very humbling. These are all like, ah yes, you thought you knew what you were doing. That's cute. Also, this is not me, like, destroying myself, verbally. This is just me sort of laughing at the situation and just sort of having fun. Of like, okay, well, you know, you can try that again later. Okay, I at least see this. That makes sense. These should line up correctly. These should line up correctly. That's at least making more sense. On today's episode of So You Think You Can Draw! Yeah. Yeah, I'm not doing the downward angle anymore, because that's a nightmare. You know what I'm gonna try doing the downward angle after this, but like, without the construction lines, like, as if I was just doing like a bakadoodle, and I just want to see how that ends up turning out. Like, how off are we? How much do we really need to study? This can be a little higher now, because we're not changing the lines here. This can be a little higher. As can the eyes. The eyes can line up more with the ear, which is too high. Alright, this can be a little higher. I think this kind of gets hidden a little bit. Ah, yeah, okay. It gets hidden, and this should be narrower. You know what it looks like right now? It's because I'm sort of showing more than should be seen at this angle, it gives a kind of Picasso effect. This needs to be a little closer together. Or what was the... What's that wolf meme? It needs a little, it needs to be there, and then this one needs to be a little further back. Ah, okay, much better. Much better. That feels better. You guys seen the wolf meme, and it's like, when you, when all you know how to draw is wolves, but you can't do perspective? Have you guys seen that? Let me see if I have the... I'm gonna look it up because it's really funny. Perspective wolf. There we go. I love this so much. Because it's so accurate. I'm just gonna put this in the top corner for people. Because I think it is funny. When you're new at art and you can't do perspective. I love it so much. Hello, Airtane. Welcome back, welcome back. It's so dumb. I love it. It makes me happy. Alright, this needs a little bit more of a tilt thing. There we go. We're starting to get back on track, I think. Slowly but surely. Alright. Should be like the bridge of the nose. But because it's a female character, it's gonna be smaller. Right here? Yep, that's about right. Okay. Yeah. I hope if I can do a straight line. There we go. Yep, that's still about right. Okay. So easy to do a frontward face and then everything else is just pain. Frontward face just gives you a false sense of security. And yeah, when you're doing the eyelashes on a 3/4 like this, it probably is gonna sort of go off the body. That's okay. Because there's not really a great way to do it otherwise. As long as it's mainly the eyelashes and you still pretty much have the eye on the actual face. There's some things where anime style can't really be made into 3D. I remember watching Naoki Saito, who was doing a video trying to break down, like, how to best basically do this grid situation with anime characters. And to a certain extent, it doesn't work perfectly. The nose feels kind of short. The lines are correct. It might be, yeah, it's hard to tell with the angle. I don't know if it's too short. Let's see what happens if I push it to the edge here. Maybe a little bit. Probably just needed to go closer to the lip. I feel like that's too big. Because remember, it's gonna be, like, at a side view, it's this wide. And then on a front view, it's like a line. So I feel like this is more or less correct? I think it's right. Alright, let's try to do this here. This might be a little bit higher. And this is, it has to have like a 3D shape, so I have to also keep that in mind too. Probably a little higher than that, but like that. And then again with the 3/4 piece here. I think this is about right. And then if I want to try to make these like more or less round, just because I think that's a easier, a slightly more realistic style. You know, as opposed to doing like the old anime style where it's more square. It's sort of like a more modern style with the rounded iris. It's adding a little bit more realism. As opposed to, like, I'd say, you know, early 2000s. Or I guess more 90s, I suppose. And then this is gonna be, you know, matching this plane here, too. About there. And then this should be more accurate to where the edge of the eye is. Actually, wait. Oh, this goes further. It should be more of like an indent. Must be great to be born with natural eyeliner. I feel like this head construction is still a lot better than I normally draw. So as irritating as it is to kind of go through the motions, it is really, really helping. the accuracy is just a lot stronger than what I normally have. My 3/4 alone don't look this good normally. So construction is really annoying, but it is really helpful. And eventually, you know, you do this enough, you practice it enough, you do get to the point where you don't have to do a construction to this level, right? But it helps a lot in practicing. I think this is right? Yeah, it looks like it's lining up. That pretty much lines up. Yeah, and then the harder part is then if you have to tilt it downward, which I don't know how to do at all. That's scary. That's a scary idea. Alright, save that. This wolf is silly. There's an illusion that the 3/4 head has shadow added already. It's weird, right? Yeah, well, I mean, if we were to do the same thing that we did before with the color, right? Take this and... that's gonna be, like... the darkest part is gonna be the neck, where the shadow can't get through. And then this is gonna be, like, slightly lighter. This is gonna be, like, the brightest highlights here. I mean, if you wanted to say that it's, like, kind of in shadow, you could. You could argue, like, here, right? If the light's hitting it. And then this is gonna be in shadow, too. Depending on where your light source is, right? Like, if your light source is coming from here. I think the ear is... I think I moved the ear incorrectly, because the ear is, like, overlapping here. I think this is a little off, slightly. And then, I guess with this angle, you also could... well, no, because the lips are probably here, so maybe not. Does that look better? I mean, it really is only... it's just dependent on, like, your actual angle. Yeah, no, that looks better. That looks better, because that was a little too... huh. Are they both off? They are, aren't they? They're both off. Yeah. This is a little off too, isn't it? Let's just move it like that. Yep, side of the face needs to be a little fuller. See the difference there? Makes sense. Makes sense. Interesting. Okay. So the ear is... yeah, the ear goes further back than you think. Probably a little bit larger, too. Yep. Yeah, this is why it's just easier to give everyone fox ears. Yeah, okay, that helped. Surprisingly. I might take away the roundness just a bit, just to make her chin a little pointier. Just a tiny bit. Just because she's probably an older character. But yeah, oh, that barely made a difference at all. That's not even a visible difference. Yeah, that's fine. See if there's anything else here. I wonder if I made this like a slightly too leaning in. Yep, that looks better too. And then as well, like, you know, if you're doing this digitally and you can liquefy things, you can also just make things look better based on, like, when you're flipping things around and what looks better in your eye. Should the cheek be more pronounced? Slightly? Yep, just a tiny bit. Tiny little, look at that, like tiny little tweaks that you don't think make a big difference, but they actually, like, really change how the face looks. You see how subtle that is, but do you see how big of a change it makes? In terms of, like, how the design just feels, like, more comfortable as you're going back and forth here? That's wild. Alright, save this. Tiny tweaks, but they make it look better. And just for my own sanity, I'm gonna make this ear overlap a little bit more, just so we have a little more visual difference, so that it doesn't look so much like it's tangents. Which also just looks better and cleaner. That just looks better and cleaner. How about finishing the first head with a neck in the shadow too? Would be a great guide for the Discord channel. I don't think it would make the best guide. I mean, because I'm still learning. I don't know if there's mistakes in it. I can just to show off, like, study work. But I would feel very remiss if it was wrong and people are learning from the incorrect. I can add shadow and everything and just make it look more finished, sure. I think this would be like... I'm not really sure if I can do this the same way. I don't even know if the first one is right, because we did that one first. I can try, though. But if it just helps, like, as, like, a general guide, then sure. Trying to think here. This is gonna be the side here. Alright, it's gonna be kind of where the mouth is. I guess that's kind of all it needs to be. I don't know if I can do it the same way, but I'm trying. I'm trying to think. Something like that, maybe? I'm trying to, like, break down if I understand it. I'm also not sure if I drew it on the right layer. Might have done that on the wrong layer, I'm not really sure. Probably like that, I think. Let me just make it a little softer so it's not, like, so in your face. It's gonna be... Wait, am I... Oh, shoot. Is that the wrong... Just needs to low... Okay, just needs to go lower. Make that a little darker here. I guess it would basically be like this, right? Hello, newbie. Welcome in, welcome in. I'm dying. I'm dying thinking I know what I'm doing. How are you? Alright. I feel like this needs to be, like, a little higher. I don't know. Tiny bit. And this needs to be a little lower. Try that. Maybe that works. Ooh, spective, yes, indeed, I'm dying. Indeed, spective. So much spective. Spective hard. Alright, what about that? Does that help? Is that a good breakdown of things-ish? Really like... Well, I guess, you know, you have your shadow from your ear, but... Eh. Perspective very hard indeed. I do like how it turned out, at least. I do like how it turned out in terms of, like, feeling like I have a better sense of things. Like, if I have to... Well, that's the thing, right? We can only do... Okay, I'm curious. Let me save this. And... Alright, if I was to just do this, like, freehand, I'm just curious. Freehand, right? Not doing a grid, just trying to understand, like... Trying to see something in space, right? How does this look if I try to do this freehand? If I wanted to do, like, a downward angle, let's say. If I had to do a character who was looking down, would I know how to do it? Or would I die? Spective and Skeletti. Artisanal hunters. Nice. Would I know how to do this, or would I just... Would this, like, not look right? Would this just look good enough for, like, a Bakadoodle? I kind of have the feeling that that's what it is. It will only work for a Bakadoodle. Probably end up doing something like that. And the ears are gonna be, like, higher here. Try and take what we learn and see if I can apply this or not. So the main thing is that we can tell that we don't have the right, structure, I think. It's not the worst thing in the world, but, like, it's not, like, it's not as mathematically correct as it should be. So you can fake it, kind of, but I'm sure this isn't right. It's not terrible. It's better than I would have done before watching this course, that's for sure. It's not terrible. You're making a face to observe the faces you previously drew moments ago. That's funny. How does this look like? Back of the head is probably still larger. I don't know. Sometimes when you're trying to do perspective, it looks so off. Like, the back of the head looks really off, but if I had hair, it probably wouldn't feel off, you know? I don't really... It's really hard to tell. Well, this definitely still has more construction and logic than it otherwise would have, I feel like. But I don't know how to do that, like, mathematically correctly. Also, the ear's still probably further back. Alright, that's something I struggle with. I struggle with ear placement, so that's good to know. And I still struggle with, like, a really intense angle. It's probably lower, too. It's still kind of just going back to the basic 3/4 that we had, isn't it? It's hard to really push the angle part of this without it just sort of looking like a cheat. It's not terrible, though. It's not terrible. It just doesn't look like an angle, it just looks like narrower eyes, I feel. Like, it's not quite capturing what makes it a different angle. It just feels like a different face shape. I push it back, maybe? Can't really tell. No, I guess it's fine. And then pushing that a little bit. Yeah, like that. Maybe like that. Johnny Virgil, no, that is like kind of my one absolute, like, no. I think I actually use that as an example of, like, things that other VTubers are okay with that I am not. Like, other VTubers can use that as a joke, I cannot, and I think I actually use that as, like, a pinned example of something that I would not be okay with. Alright. Can't even tell if this is correct or not. No, I don't think so. The mental image does not leave me alone. Yeah, that is something I'm genuinely against. I know other VTubers are better at making fun of themselves than I am. But that's kind of one of my lines. The exception being, of course, if it's like, you know, construction study stuff like this, but like, colored, finished, no thanks. Do I have 4 ears or 2? I just have 2. I don't have the Terran ear style. What you see is what you get. I don't have 4 ears. Alright. Do we dare attempt the free run angle? Do we dare try to freehand the free run angle? Oh, this is gonna be so bad. This is gonna be so bad. Alright. Also, I don't know why I'm so zoomed out. I'm not recording the screen in a traditional way. I don't have to be zoomed out like that. Oh, alright. Trust the process, okay. Trust the course. We did not do a free run angle in the course. The only thing we did was a downward angle. We've not done upward. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. I also need to remember that you can't just immediately absorb every single thing the first time you try it. And it's humbling because sometimes when you've, you know, gone through all of art school, you kind of feel like some things are basic fundamentals that you have a great grasp on. And then you see, like, a true professional, and then you just cry a little. What's the end goal? To get better. Like, we were able to do this, and we would not have been able to do that, as of today. Also, I just realized that the mouth is probably not as accurate as it should be. There we go. Alright. Okay, free run angle. Oof. This is gonna hurt. I actually will do a box for that. I feel like you can't do it without a box. Ugh. Me being like, this is a fun way to test skills. Infinite crying. Oh, we are gonna die. We're gonna die. This is like... Oh, this is gonna be bad. That's okay. We'll have fun. We learn from it, right? We learn from it. It's just amazing how humbled you can get redoing fundamentals that you've done for years, but like this time it's with an art style that you actually want to do. Hello, what are we dying to? Hello, Golden Glow. I spent stream doing like all of these tests of trying to understand head structure, and now I'm doing the free run angle. That's what we're dying to. Okay. It's gonna be like lower right. At least helps with ear placement. Okay. Alright. So we at least know that we can do like a... okay. It's probably gonna be like a little bit of a higher brow here. Or like... okay. Less of a cheek and a higher area of a brow, I guess. Okay, I'm trying to see it in my head. It's not working very well. Alright, this is gonna be... Okay, wait. I have to reevaluate here. Hang on a sec. I can explain this in a way that you guys can observe what I'm doing wrong and how we can course correct. The head is not fully a circle, right? The head is not fully a circle, it has a pinch to it. So if we do just a square or just a circle, we can't have the chin here, it has to go beyond the circle. Okay. Has to go beyond the circle a little bit. So that's a good observation to make. That helps. Because I'm looking at the ear, and I'm like, how am I supposed to get the ear from here? Like, that doesn't make sense. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, yes. So we can break this part down. Alright. It's not looking terrible so far. And then we can figure out where this part is again up here. It's gonna kind of be the side angle, so this is gonna be probably here. Which means our chin's about here. Well, no, the chin's where the ear is. Is the ear correctly placed? And if it looks awkward, again, you know, you can always make adjustments. Which we'll probably have to do. We're gonna see more of the top of the brow. Wait. No, you're gonna see, yeah, more of the... Okay. Like, I can almost see it. Just can't quite see it yet. Okay, this part is gonna be lower, this part's gonna be higher. And then the brow area is gonna have to be, like, even higher, so then the hair would be, like, here, right? So... Wait, where's the brow area? No, top of the ear. Top of the ear. Yeah, and then the brow. Okay, nope, this is okay. This is okay. I'm, like, trying to, like, coerce myself through it. Or no, coerce. I'm trying to coerce myself through it. It's still the center. So the face, the lips are probably gonna be about here. Wait, I'm starting to lose it. I'm starting to lose what I'm doing. I'm getting so confused with the diagram now. Let me just look at it from the other angle. Okay, this chin needs to be lower. The eyes are fine. But then the chin area is what needs to change. Okay, this is hard enough. I'm gonna flip it. This is hard enough as it is. We'll flip it back. I can at least use the existing models we have here, right? That's not cheating. Let me get the neck in, at least. We kind of know what we're doing. Trying to figure out why I can't get the side chin here to make sense to me. I've drawn so many things over here now, I can't really tell what's going on. There should be, like... I don't know what all this is now. We're just gonna get rid of it. I don't know where it came from. We're getting rid of it. I don't care. I just know this has to be thinner. To make up for the difference in height. So away from you, it should be more vertical on the side. What do you mean, vertical? Alright, be like... I know it gets flatter if it goes up. I don't know, like, how to... Straight up? What do you... I don't know what part of it you're talking about. The chin, the eye, the ear? Smaller angle. Yeah. I'm just trying to... I'm trying to figure out, like, where it went, you know? Okay, I see what you're saying. I feel like the left cheek is, like, the part that everyone struggles with. I feel like that is what makes the free run angle so painful. Alright, let me just try to add the nose in real quick. Reverse free run meme? It's not a reverse, it is the free run meme. It is literally just doing free run meme. Nose is probably even higher. It's flipped though? I only flipped it because of the angle everything we have is at. I'll flip it back. Yeah, I started it like this, and then I was struggling to death. We're so close, it's just the chin I can't figure out. And I know it needs to be, like... I know it needs to be more subtle, I can't figure out... Alright, we have this part. We have this part. This part here. This part with the face. This part. And this with the ear. What am I supposed to do on the cross section? I think it needs to be like... Ugh! You bring the chin up more. I know you're supposed to be able to see the bottom. Like, I know that that's a main element of it. Because your chin is actually very flat. If you, like, slap the bottom of your chin, it's very flat. So I know that there's, like, a flat plane here. I can't figure out the rest of it here. Now I'm just going back and forth because it looks awkward in any angle now. You know? I was trying to get the angle right of the mouth. The free run angle should be taught in art schools. Also trying to not make them look cross-eyed. I think the nose is gonna be higher, yeah. Just don't know how much. We're close. I just can't get the last element of it. I know we're missing that point. I can't get it right in my head. Here an angle's not taught in art school. No, it is not. Should be though. Really should be. Get rid of some of these grid lines. Try to get... Alright, we have a little bit of a caveman brow, and I don't like that. So let me try to get rid of that. I think the whole face needs to go higher. Yeah. Make this a little less pronounced so it's less caveman-like. That's better. Less caveman-like is helpful. I just can't get the... Can't figure out that last part of the chin. It still doesn't look natural yet. And it looks very masculine for some reason. Probably needs to be more outward. That helps a little. Ah. Yeah, this is hell. This is hell. Can't even tell where the chin and the neck meet anymore. It's not awful. It's not awful. You can also make the, probably make this a little higher because of the cheek being in the way. Probably get it with more practice. Alright. I'm still keeping the box here just so I sort of know, like, what I was doing, more or less. Probably need to be thinner, too. I think that's... It still feels very masculine. I can't figure out why. Can't figure out why it feels so masculine. Alright. Yeah, that helps. You know, pushing the cube back in space where it belongs is good. Maybe... Does it need a little bit of a tilt? Yeah, again, the chin goes pretty far out, doesn't it? Alright. Just whip that back to where it needs to be. It makes a really big difference when the chin is further out, doesn't it? Because this is still, like... When you think about it, right? This is still a single plane, and if it's not out, then it's doing too much, forced movement, maybe. Can't tell how flat it should be. That's about there. Yeah, no, the chin does need to feel sharper. I just don't know how to not... I don't know how to make it... How do you not make the chin... If you're working with a flat plane here, how do you make that feminine? Because if you do this, then it doesn't, because now we're running into the same issue. Unless it's like... That's not right either. I don't know what the right answer is here. Because I agree with you, yeah, it's too masculine, so like... I'm trying to cut the corner without it being the issue that everyone else had previously. I guess like this? Does it look better if it's shaded? I can't see where the point of the chin is in this. Check the angle of the cheekbone compared to the ear and the eye. Angle of the cheekbone. So this is still right. Maybe the mouth needs to be more downturned. Well, that helps a lot. Making sure that the angle is correct for the mouth. All right. Let's cheat a little. Let's bring this in. I don't really even know how to use these, to be honest, so let's see here. How are you even supposed to draw that? I mean, okay, what the heck? I think the downward head is a lot easier for some reason. Alright, move that one along. Why is it not? Oh, come on. There we go. This doesn't even make sense to me. Like, I don't even know what I'm looking at with the 3D model. But okay. Did I go too hard here? Maybe. Maybe I went too pushed on the ear, maybe. Nose can go over the eye. That's just a hesitation that I had. You know, all things considered, this is not super off. This should be a little pushed back. Yeah, I can't really see what I'm looking at here, though. Like, more of a pronounced chin, I guess? Like, what is happening here? I can't even tell if the 3D model is accurate. Too deep. Or, no, not deep enough. Too shallow. Too shallow. If it's flat, I think that's what made... I think that just made all the difference. It was too shallow. I was adding too much fat here. And like I said, it's flatter. I think that... I think that's what it... that was it. I think that just made all the difference in the world. It's flat. It should be drawn flat. No, that makes sense. That was it. That was it. It was a matter of making this much flatter, much thinner. I was adding way too much fat here, and it was making the character look like they had a much larger neck and everything. Yep, that was it. Jeez. Well, if I had known it was just that, I could have fixed that. Could have fixed that a lot easier. So, it looks like the deceiving part is in how flat everything is. And because of the back of the head, is going to show up a little bit more. Man, I really never get a chance to do, like, real studies. This Colosso class is forcing me to do probably more studies than I've done in the last 5 years, if I'm being 100% honest with you guys. So that's been really, really important. Yeah, I really think that was it. I think that just made all the difference. I really do. And of course, turning up the eyes because of the angle. Good lord. It does kind of make things look flat if you're not careful. I think that's basically it, though. Maybe slight turn here. Slight push. Pushing it inward slightly. Yeah. Still very hard to do no matter what. Just seeing like how flat or morphed it is otherwise. It's probably be a little further. The box still does help to sort of, like, make sure you understand the angles you're working with. Alright. Where's our previous one here? That one was a lot easier to do. I wonder what it is about rear end angle that is like what makes it so hard. Alright. Okay, and then let me just clean that up a little bit here. I can't tell if the shadow is the same or not. Like, this I'm not sure. I feel like this gets a little lighter. Catches a little bit more of the light. See if I can get rid of all this debris here. Up a little nicer. All right. Oh my gosh. This is certainly an exercise. Me. There we go. Just move that a little nicer. There we go. Oh. Save that. Alright. That was really difficult. What do you think? Did we improve? I feel like we improved. I think this chin is still maybe slightly too pointy. I think this needs to be like this. I feel like we definitely improved. Definitely compared to when I started. Were any of you guys following along? Did any of you guys get anything useful out of this? Did this help at all? A lot of fun? I'm glad. I know this was more like, more technically driven, and I know Monday is like really when you guys want to be more like loosey-goosey. So I do really appreciate you, bearing with me through all this, because I think this was really, really important to figure out. In terms of knowledge, it's gonna take a whole lot more. I mean, this is like many of our first times doing this exercise, right? Like, we're not gonna be good the first time around, and I think that is something I need to internalize too. Because I just keep thinking like, oh, I've done, I've learned how to do head studies, and therefore I should be able to do this no problem. It's like, no, not necessarily. Not necessarily. The way I've broken this down is a lot different than, how I've worked in the past. I kind of knew the general idea behind it, but not to this level of depth. So, yeah, I think that was still pretty different for me. But yeah, definitely a really good exercise. And the more you do it, the more you sort of like mentally internalize it, right? If your right angle might still be a little bit off in those face planes, but I'm not gonna worry about it right now. Cause that was just very hard on its own. Let me just bring that up real quick, see what it was. Ah! Yeah, kinda hard to tell. It's fine. It's fine. It's a practice. It's a practice. This is a practice session. So I think it was still very good. With that being said, I do think we are going to wrap up here. So tomorrow is gonna be most likely finishing Undertides. I'm kind of confused by that because what the heck is Cal doing here? But it should be an interesting time at the very least. If you're new here, definitely consider joining our Discord because we would love to have you in the Discord. And if you haven't yet, do consider subscribing on this channel, on the main channel, on Twitch, whichever you would like. I think next time we'll just allow Twitch to be part of this. See if they care or not. If they don't, it's whatever. But yeah, we'll just see how everything goes. But with that being said, thank you so much, and thank you so much for your support. I really, really appreciate it. Have a fantastic rest of your day, evening, or night, wherever you may be in the world or the worlds beyond. And well, thank you so much, and all the best.